And I think that the American plans to date have not received the kind of deep attention that's needed. They've been a little bit of a panic strike motive here. People are looking at the structure of the market, trying to make statements about how, ignoring some of the key fundamentals of how we got into this problem in the first place. I mean, what got us, at least the U.S., into this problem, and I think the U.S. got the world into this problem, was a very badly organized mortgage market and a very badly organized financial derivatives market based on the mortgage market. And so the instability that we started seeing even 2 years ago in the mortgage market didn't receive proper attention in the previous administration. And even in the most immediate discussions after the September and early October events, didn't receive the attention that the fundamental was always the fact that you had a large number of people owning homes beyond their means, and that they were betting on the fact that housing prices would appreciate at a time they were starting to depreciate. So in some sense, it took us a long while, and it's still taking us a long while, to recognize that it was the housing market that started this, and it's a housing market we're going to have to seek a cure. So I think that's been the problem. So forget the Poulsen plan. That was an immediate response to a banking system meltdown. But more correctly, we start seeing a larger problem of a sector that was not regulated, a sector that grew up, a sector where there was tremendous incentive to essentially pursue profit and take great risks without, money was made on enormous leverages that were not normally possible. If you think about, for example, what did it take for somebody to buy a house? 20, 30 years ago, you had to put down 5, 10, 20% for your, I think in Italy it's still relatively high.
Yeah, it's 50%.
50%, right. Yeah. But in the United States, it got down to 0.5%, and you could borrow that. So my father's house, for example, my father died recently, sold his house. He sold it to somebody who put down literally 0.5% of the value and borrowed it. They had no money. They were basically not very rich people. I was glad to unload the house, but the fact is that kind of financial profligacy really created problems. And that, I think, is a huge issue which we need to address in reform later. So the incentives for kind of correct behavior, the incentives even for prudent behavior in securing loans and backing up a lot of assets and financial trading, that was completely missed. It wasn't there. So we had a confluence of events, and we basically let a sector spring up without regulating it. I don't think we had a psychological change. I don't think anybody got especially greedy. They just recognized, as they often do, people do, if you create an opportunity to arbitrage, or you create an opportunity to make money, sure, it'll be exploited. And here was a case where a huge amount of leveraging could be done, and with it, a huge amount of risk could be acquired.